Experts say that the first few minutes of a presentation are the most important. If you're able to get the audience's attention quickly, they will be interested in what you have to say. Here are 4 techniques you can use to start your talk on the right foot. Welcome back. Today, we will learn 4 ways to attract the audience's attention at the beginning of your presentation. Number 1. Ask a rhetorical question. What's the meaning of rhetorical question? A rhetorical question is a question to which no answer is required, used especially for dramatic effect. For example, when you say, "Who knows?" the implication here is nobody knows. So here you don't expect a member of your audience to stand up and tell you no one knows. But actually here you just want to make them participate in the thinking process that you are initiating in your presentation. You are just grabbing their attention. This is very important. Okay, you are eliciting them to think with you. Like, for example, is market research important for brand development? Of course, it's very important. Everyone knows that it's very important. You don't expect an answer from your audience. This is a rhetorical question. It's important, of course, to research how your customers think and what do your customer need. So market research is very important. So when you start with this, the clear answer from your audience is yes, of course. So here, but you don't want them to answer you. You just want them to share with you your way of thinking. That's all. This is a good way to grab their attention. Is market research important for brand development? And then you proceed to prove how it's important. One more example, you can say, do we really need quality assurance? Quality assurance is a way of making sure that your product is up to the level and that nothing wrong with it. Quality assurance. Okay, to make sure that the quality of your products or your services is up to the level so that your customers get satisfied. Of course, the obvious answer is yes. So here it's a rhetorical question. You don't expect an answer from your audience. Number 2, start with an interesting fact, something that is interesting. For example, according to an article I read recently, central banks are now buying euros instead of dollars. What is known in the world is that dollars are more important than euros. Okay, more important and more influential in the business world. So when you say, according to an article I read recently, central banks are now buying euros instead of dollars. Here, you're going to grab your audience's attention and make them think with you. Oh, this is very interesting. Let's listen. What is this man trying to say here? Or, for example, did you know that fast food consumption has increased by 600% in Europe since 2002? Interesting piece of information, something that you read in an article, in a newspaper, in a magazine, or watched on TV. This will help grab your audience's attention as well. Did you know that fast food consumption means eating fast food? Okay. Did you know that fast food consumption had increased by 600% in Europe since 2002? Number 3, tell them a story or an anecdote. Anecdote means a story, a real story that maybe happened to you. Tell them a story or an anecdote. For example, I remember when I attended a meeting in Paris and then proceed to say what happened in that meeting. Okay, people love stories a lot. People enjoy stories. I remember when I attended a meeting in Paris, and then you start your presentation with a story that is relevant to your topic of discussion, to the presentation's topic. Of course, you won't be saying a story that is irrelevant to what you're saying. I remember when I attended a meeting in Paris, and then you start your story. At a conference in Madrid, I was once asked the following question, and then you say what happened to you. At a conference in Madrid, so here it's an anecdote or a personal story that happened to you before that will help your audience focus on what you're trying to say. They want to learn what happened to you. What happened to you? That has to do with our topic of the day. At a conference in Madrid, I was once asked the following question, and then you tell. So this is very important as well. And always remember this. People love to listen to stories. Number 4, give them a problem to think about. For example, suppose you wanted to set up a new call center. How would you go about it? Suppose you wanted to set up a new call center. How would you go about it? How would you go about it? Here, you are asking your audience to think with you. You're giving them a problem that you need them to think about a solution to this problem or an answer to this problem. This will help you make your audience think with you and grab their attention as well. Suppose you wanted to set up a new call center. How would you go about it? Or, imagine you had to organize the sales department. What would be your first step? Imagine you had to organize the sales department. What would be your first step? Imagine you had to organize the sales department. What would be your first step? Okay, now it's an exercise to help us understand well what we have just studied so far. Exercise time. In this exercise, I need you to match items from the 3 columns to make attention-grabbing openings. But before we start our exercise, there are some new words in this exercise that I need to explain before we start our exercise. Number 1, a 4-letter word. A 4-letter word is any of the short English words often used as swear words and regarded generally as offensive or obscene. A 4-letter word is any of several short English words often used as swear words, bad words, okay? And regarded generally, people look at these words as offensive or obscene and shouldn't be said. 4-letter word. Word number 2, eliminate. Eliminate means to take out or remove or get rid of. Eliminate. To take out, remove, or get rid of. Here we have how many columns? We have 3 columns. 3 columns. I need you to match, okay, to create 4 different sentences that make 4 different openings for your presentation to grab your audience's attention. Okay, so every sentence should contain 3 parts, a part from every column. Pause the video for a few minutes to answer, then come back to me to check your answers. Try to match items from the 3 columns to make attention-grabbing openings. Attention-grabbing openings mean that it's an opening that make your audience pay attention to what you're trying to say. Attention-grabbing. Okay, let's check the answers together. Opening number 1. Did you know that American Airlines saved $40,000 in 1987 by eliminating 1 olive from each salad served in first class? Here it's an interesting fact, okay, that will help you grab your audience's attention. Did you know that American Airlines saved $40,000 in 1987 by eliminating 1 olive from each salad served in first class? This is very interesting information. Number 2, I read in an article somewhere that can't is a 4-letter word. I tend to agree with that. Here he means that the word can't, which means that something is impossible to happen, should be regarded as offensive and that it's a bad word. Here he wants to say that we can actually do everything. Don't say that you can't. And can't should be dealt with as a 4-letter word, as a bad word, as a swear word, offensive and shouldn't be told. Okay, I read in an article somewhere that can't is a 4-letter word. I tend to agree with that. So here he wants to say that the word can't is a bad word, is a 4-letter word. So he wants to say that we can do everything actually. Opening 3. Imagine you won €1,000,000. Who would you tell first? Imagine you won €1,000,000. Who would you tell first? Here he wants his audience to think along with him. okay, to find a solution to this problem. Opening number 4, can we really compete with the Chinese? Of course we can. Can we really compete with the Chinese? Of course we can. So when you start your presentation with something like this, it will help you make your audience think along with you. It's a rhetorical question. You don't need an answer from your audience here.